Tell us a little bit about, let's say, how you feel like the industry has evolved over the last few years. Because this was only, I think, put in place in 2014. I think we became a registered um, industry, I guess, in 2014. So it's certainly grown since then.
For sure. I think before 2014, people would ask, what do you do? And you'd say, oh, I'm a kinesiologist. Oh, what's that?
Yeah,
Right?
exactly. Yeah,
Is
yeah.
that like a personal trainer? Right. I think it was very one dimensional back then. And even now, it's still, there's still a lot, I think, progression to be made, but you do even see like it is, although limited, it's starting to be covered by some personal or private insurance, right?
Mhm,
Um, it's not as readily accessible as maybe like if you have funding to see a physiotherapist, but it does exist.
mhm,
And yeah, I know in the field that I'm in now at the rehab clinic, we used to not be added on a lot of files, and now we're
mhm,
part of these MVA files, we're part of LTD files, like we're being recognized of all the different benefits that we can
mhm.
add to a file by being part of this interdisciplinary treatment team.
Exactly. Exactly. Now, in terms of what you've really enjoyed doing over the last little while, what's like your favorite, I guess, the type of client or approach, or like what's what you've really enjoyed over the last little while?
I've always liked working with people that have, I do like the spectrum where it is more human performance.
Hmm.
So you don't get that very often in rehab.
Hmm.
But every once in a while, I'll get a firefighter and
Hmm.
anyone like that where they have a physically demanding job. I really like working with them because you truly see how they go from rehab exercises to functional exercises to now very heavy demand exercises, and to see that progression,
Hmm.
um, I've always enjoyed being able to be a part of that, right?
Yeah, of course. And I think that sometimes that's the rewarding piece. And seeing people sort of shift from one level to another is probably the biggest, let's call it, pay that we can get a lot of times. Like we're doing, having some purpose, some impact with people, right? At the same time, when I worked in the same scope, let's call it, I would sometimes get frustrated because there were sometimes people that weren't, they didn't, I guess they didn't believe that they could improve or they could change. And sometimes it became like you're trying to help them just feel enough efficacy that they can continue and confidence to get started. Like, have you noticed that as well?
For sure. I think that's more so like when I used to work with the general public. They have these goals, but they don't truly might think that they can, ever achieve it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I do like the challenge because I do feel that when I work with people, I see their potential and I know it's
Mm-hmm.
there. Otherwise, they wouldn't have called to see you or have that appointment with you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it is quite the challenge, but it is nice to see when you do work with people to see that growth, how they can, when they do walk in and maybe no self-efficacy, not being active, or if it's weight loss or whatever, and then seeing them transform through that and gaining confidence, and then telling you all these things that they're doing now that they thought they never could or would do.
Yeah.
Um, my very first client, like ever, as a personal trainer, when we started working together, she was 340 pounds. She had lost 50 pounds already on her own by working with a nutritionist, but noticed that she was starting to plateau. And that's when she thought it was time to start with a personal trainer.
Mm-hmm.
And in the first year, she lost 100 pounds. So now she's
Wow.
down to 240. And that wasn't even the exciting part. It was the stuff that she said, that the changes that she got to make in her life because of that. She said things such as she started shopping at stores that she thought she would
Mm-hmm.
never be able to shop at, and that's what some of us may take for granted. Like, I never thought, I could go into any store I want. How is this a
Mm-hmm.
problem? And then
Mm-hmm.
someone's saying, I get to go there now and shop there too. So hearing
Mhm.
stories like that is quite motivating to want to work with someone that almost does come in low self-esteem and motivation, because you feel like you have this education and expertise, or you know where you can get them to.
Mhm. That's the one of the most rewarding thing when you hear people, talk about how fitness has changed their life, how it's been a vehicle to make some bigger changes in their life as well.
Yeah, for sure. That is the most rewarding part.